Garl sat atop his horse, feeling the weight of the world on his shoulders. He had not understood the path his old friend had intended to take upon his awakening. The proof was evident with the death of 1,000 elves in Whitefall, but the exuberance he felt upon Ramon's return to the living had eclipsed the obvious with the hopeful. Now that hope had withered and died amongst the latest victims of Ramon's wrath. 10,000 elves killed for the crime of sharing blood with the ancestors who had imprisoned the Kalundi. These people knew nothing of the crimes for which they died. He had heard their pleas as the Kalundi rounded them from their homes, had watched with an aching heart as the youth clutched the skirts of their mothers, and had cried when those young watched the spears puncture their parents' hearts. When those spears turned on the young, he had raged against those spearmen, axe in hand and blood boiling. Ramon had interceded. A quick word had imprisoned him in a web of magic. He could do nothing but watch. Only when the last child bled onto the muddied ground, his eyes wide with shock and accusation, did Ramon release him. Ramon approached with a swarm of Kalundi behind him, every word buzzing with fanatic praise. At 30 paces away, Ramon gestured for the Kalundi to stop. They fell to the floor, arms thrusting forward to be nearer to their god and liberator. Ramon placed a hand on the neck of Garl's mount and stroked the lean flesh beneath the sand-colored coat. Memories are slower to return than I anticipated. The simple pleasures of cool air and the warm body of a trusted steed are marvels I never thought about in our previous life. Now, they offer a comforting reassurance in such dark times. Garl wiped a tear from the corner of his eye. When Ramon mentioned the past, Garl's mind slipped back to the time when he traveled beside his friend in his insane ambitions. Their company had endured enough hardships to break the hearts of bards, but they never wavered from the right path. They never killed the innocent. Yeah. I do remember your steadfastness. Not specific memories, but the sense of your unshakable loyalty. Ramon patted the horse's neck, lifted his hand, and balled it into a fist. Garl felt waves of power emanating from Ramon, each crashing against his mind like a storm. Why do I sense you intend to leave? Garl swallowed the hurt burning his throat. He had just returned to this life and had been gifted it from Ramon's hand, but that same hand now dripped with innocent blood. What do your memories tell you of my heart? The cackle of fanatics hissed with displeasure. One screamed for permission to kill Garl himself. Ramon glanced back and raised a finger. A beam of black power crashed into the speaker's head. In an instant he dropped to the ground, his soul snuffed from his body. The group fell silent. Ramon turned back to Garl, his eyes glowing with residual power. It is like the northern star itself. Pure and unchanging. Whatever this is. Garl pointed at the killing field before him. This isn't the man I once knew. To Garl's surprise, Ramon lowered his gaze to the ground. I know? I am not him. That man had not been sealed away for millennia, had not existed in the sea of pain bleeding from his people's hearts. The man you knew had reason to hope. His companions had traveled the world together, their shared goal of freeing their realm from tyranny had bound them. Or so I thought? You don't know that? Garl regretted the comment as soon as he spoke it. Ramon's voice dropped to whispering death. I don't know. Ramon's shoulder shook with mirth from a joke he only understood. When he spoke again, he did so with the scream of a rending soul. For thousands of years, I suffered in a sphere of darkness. For thousands of years, my soul railed against their betrayal. Betrayal and darkness are all I know. I can't be a part of this, Ramon. Garl stiffened for the expected beam of dark light. When it didn't come, he slumped in his saddle, aching. I can't be at your side. The group of fanatics gasped. They shook with rage, their eyes hurtling death. One spoke. "Oh, Liberator! Allow me to slay him. He rejects your grace. Such an insult cannot go unanswered." Ramon's shoulders stiffened, inciting the group to a fever. "Do you hear them? They have known the same darkness and betrayal. Their children had not known the open skies and the warmth of horseflesh. Why allow their hurt to go unanswered?" "But," Garl started. "Go?" Ramon turned his back on Garl. "Follow your heart. Perhaps it will lead you back to my side." Garl kicked his horse into a trot and left, dragging the weight of memory by his heart.